Hey everyone, this is PM Sports Talk, the father and son duo podcast. I am Preston. We have a lot of sports to dive into today. How are you doing today, Dad?
I'm doing well. You're right. There is a lot of sports going on right now, so let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So first off, we're going to start off with the NFL here. Some big games this weekend. How about them Pittsburgh Steelers taking first in the division?
What a game that was. Boy, it didn't look good first half. Totally dominated by the Ravens, but somehow, some way, this team finds a way to squeak out a victory. Second half was totally different than the first half. Our offense actually moved the ball a little bit. And, the defense turned Lamar and company over, and we squeaked out a win. It's great. But I see there by the look of your hat and your name tag there that there's some unfinished business you like to talk about.
It's not focusing, but it says Fire Matt Canada on it. And it does not fit my head, so I'm going to take it off now. But that is the, even though we won, that is still the message. Get rid of him.
Yeah, it's still there. That offense was still brutal play calls. That same play call that got Kenny Pickett hurt in the last game, he called again on the same exact thing, 3rd and 1. Well, it might have been 4th and 1 in the other game. I can't remember. But it was either 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Well, it's 3rd and 1 in this game. Shotgun, 3rd and 1.
And they hand it off.
And what's the result? Go
Stuffed.
nowhere. Stuffed. Unbelievable, horrible play call. He's still so bad with his play calling. I just don't understand. And I'm afraid that because they won this weekend, that they're just going to stick with him. When this would be the perfect time for him to go. You have a bye week coming up that gives you 2 weeks to get somebody else in there, and just change things up. Because that offense, even though we won, I don't see you winning going forward with that play calling the way it is.
Nope. Absolutely not. It's just been bad for the past 2 years. And I think that's how long he's been there. But
Well, this will be the 3rd year. The last year of Roethlisberger's career, he was the offensive coordinator, and their offense was horrible then, and we were all blaming that on Roethlisberger being old. But you noticed in those games, when Roethlisberger took over and said, hey, that's it, I'm doing it my way, they actually moved the ball. No coincidence. The big play of the game was the 41-yard touchdown from Pickett to Pickens.
And Pickett made a change at the line.
He changed the play.
Did a Randy Moss audible at the line, and it worked. And everyone saw Matt Canada's face, blank stare.
Yeah. I was wondering what was going on at the time, and then we found out later that Kenny Pickett changed it. So the play that worked was not the play that he had called. No surprise there.
Yeah, you saw my hat. It's some unfinished business there with Mr. Canada. He just needs to go. It's getting bad.
I don't think they're going to change. I just don't. We'll see what happens going forward. They don't. This is a team that doesn't fire coaches. I just don't see them doing it until the end of the season, unless for some reason things just click all of a sudden and they start moving the ball really well. But I don't see that happening with these play calls.
Does Matt Canada make you miss Randy Fichtner?
No, I won't go that far because he was horrible too.
Yeah, I know.
You know who does make me miss? Todd Haley.
Todd Haley, yeah.
Who I thought was kind of bad at the time, but he looks like an expert compared to these two.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just brutal. I'm starting to think there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, is it Pickett the guy or not?" I think he is the guy. I just think that's the play calling. I think it's that bad. Because Roethlisberger looked the same as Pickett does, and was it Roethlisberger? No, I don't think it was. It was Matt Canada with these 1-yard pass plays on a 3rd and 7, or a jet sweep on a 3rd and 7, and the defense knows what's coming because another commentator was saying, the Steelers' offense is so simple. When you look at San Francisco's, they have receivers crossing the field, 3 and 4 guys every play. It makes the defense think they don't know who to cover. The Steelers don't do that. They don't have receivers crossing. Receivers run a simple route, and they stop and turn and look for the ball. Well, the defense can cover that easily.
Yeah.
So they have no imagination with their offense, and that's the problem. It's not going to change, I don't think. So
I don't want to see one person blame this defense. This defense, the reason why we gave up 30 points to the Texans, it was 13 points for a while, 13-6, the score.
Yeah.
And the reason why they let up 30 points is because the offense kept getting 3-and-outs, couldn't stay on the field, and keeps making the defense go out there. Eventually, they're going to get tired and exhausted.
Yeah, if you look at all the games, even last year, the games where the defense always, it was close. And any of the games that got away from Pittsburgh, it got away in the fourth quarter. Because like you said, they got tired. In the first halves, they would hold these teams to field goal, or they would turn them over, get an interception, get a fumble, and then the offense would go 3-and-out. And that Texan game was a perfect example. That game was like you said, 10-0, 13-0, 16-6, I believe, in the fourth quarter, only down 10 points because of that defense. And then they got tired, and the Texans scored a couple touchdowns late. But yeah, going forward, this team's not going to win unless this offense starts calling some better plays, because it's not going to work. I mean, I just don't see it working. It's not.
The game shouldn't have even been that close. Lamar had a Nelson Aguilar drop touchdown, a Rashad Bateman drop touchdown. Zay Flowers had multiple drops.
Yeah.
They caught breaks.
Yeah, it could have easily been 21-0 in that first half, and it was only 10-0 or 10-3 at the half, and so Pittsburgh was in it because of those drops and because of some turnovers. So yeah, going forward, it's not going to work. So we got lucky. I mean, we're 3-2. So you're 3-2 by luck. So make a change. Do something to change it up. But they're not going to.
Yeah, no, not going to happen with this Pittsburgh Steelers franchise that doesn't like to make changes for some apparent reason. But let's go on to the 49ers. Boy, do they look unstoppable.
That was a complete beatdown against the Dallas Cowboys, who I picked to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl this year. That's not looking too good right now.
Nope. I mean, Chiefs isn't looking too good either. But
no, I could be wrong on both those counts. But I have more faith in the Chiefs than the Cowboys. But everybody's been saying that it's Dallas, Philadelphia, and San Fran, and then in the NFC. It's not. It's San Francisco and Philadelphia. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe Detroit. I don't know.
Possibly.
I think they might be better than Dallas.
They could get this could be the year Detroit gets out of that playoff slump.
Their defense isn't as good as Dallas, but their offense is way better, I think. So I think I like Jared Goff over Dak Prescott, too.
I say we get Trey Lance in there against the 49ers if they play each other in the playoffs again. How about we get a little revenge game?
Yeah, that's not going to happen either, but unless Prescott gets hurt. But
yeah.
That game was in San Francisco, and it's a night game. They're all pumped up. So, I mean, who knows what happens going on down the road? And I mean, Dallas is going to make the playoffs, but if they have to go to San Francisco, which it looks like they will, they're going to either have to go to San Francisco or probably Philadelphia in the playoffs. And I was betting on Dallas winning that division. That's why I was picking them to go to because I thought Philadelphia was going to come down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And they have. They're not. I don't think they're as good as they were. At least they haven't started as good. But they've won all these games. They're 5-0. A couple of those games they probably could have lost, but they didn't. So that makes me wonder if Philadelphia is just going to, they're going to get better as the season goes on. So Dallas probably isn't going to catch them for the division now. Yeah. San Francisco, they look like the best team in football by far right now. I would take them over the Eagles too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Niners over Eagles all day long. Brock Purdy looks unstoppable. How about George Kittle also getting a hat trick?
Yeah, 3 touchdown. See, that's just it with that team. Kittle hasn't done much this year. Then all of a sudden he has this game where he gets 3 touchdowns. They've got Ayuk. They've got Kittle. You haven't heard much from DJ Samuel this year either. When he'll probably have a breakout game next.
Yeah, Debo.
Yeah. And then they have McCaffrey. They've got weapons all over the place. And the offensive line, which everybody thought was going to be a weakness this year, well, it's not a weakness at all. They're still really good. I still don't say he's a great quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. But that's all you have to be with that offense.
Even Shanahan said Darnold looked good, and we've seen Darnold with the Jets, the Panthers.
Yeah, it looked just putrid.
So, I mean, the Niners may be the way to get back as a quarterback. I mean, Jimmy G went to a Super Bowl, and he doesn't look great with the Raiders.
No, it's that's whatever scheme they're doing there. He's a great, like you said, Shanahan. He's a great play caller.
He's a quarterback's coach, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's calling the plays or not, but he definitely has his hands on them. That's his offense, and like I say, it doesn't seem to matter who they put in there at quarterback.
No.
I mean, let's think about it. If you switch out Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett and put Brock Purdy on the Steelers and put Kenny Pickett on San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Brock Purdy looks like he does right now? I don't.
I wouldn't think so. I think
No, he's not.
Brock Purdy got the greatest start he could ask for by getting drafted by the Niners. In my opinion, he got the best place he could ask for as an Iowa State quarterback. He wasn't looked at like at all as a top QB's prospect, and then there he is, Mr. Irrelevant, and he gets drafted by San Francisco. San Francisco is a quarterback's room. Their quarterback Kyle Shanahan's a quarterback's coach, so Purdy, if he went to the Steelers, say, he'd be awful. I mean, it could not because of him. Just look at Matt Canada.
That's what I mean. It's all about what team you're on when it comes to developing these young quarterbacks. I just hope we don't ruin Pickett. But getting back to San Francisco, yeah, he's not touched. I mean, how often do you see Brock Purdy under pressure? A couple times a game?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every play.
I don't see him getting pressure that much.
No, that's what I mean. So their offensive line, their scheme, they're just a machine right now, and it's a long way to go. They've only played 5 games. You got 12 more to go.
Yeah.
So a lot can happen. People get hurt all the time. We saw that, this weekend. So, but right now they are the class of the NFL.
Yeah. If I were to say how much you said get some pressure on him in that Steelers-Niners game, I'd say about over 10. You tell the defense to get some pressure on Brock Purdy.
What do you mean?
Like you'd say, you always say when we're watching games, get some pressure on him because the Steelers got no pressure on Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. That was If you're an NFL quarterback, if you have the talent to be an NFL quarterback, and you get no pressure in your face, you can just sit back there and the guys are open, and you can just play like pinball, boom, 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 hit guys that are wide open. An NFL caliber quarterback is going to do well.
Yeah.
You could take the worst quarterback you think in the league that's playing right now, whoever that is, Zach Wilson, whoever, and put them on that San Francisco team, and they're going to look like an all-pro.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, that's what people have been saying for years ever since Jimmy G and the Niners went to the Super Bowl. I mean, Shanahan has turned that place around, as they were not that good a couple of years ago. I mean, like they were like one of the worst teams in the league. That's how they got Nick Bosa, and then it all started from there.
Yeah, they've got a juggernaut. They're the favorites to win right now, but a lot can happen. So
let's move on here to our next sport. We'll get back to the NFL for our predictions for the week. Let's go to college football recap. I mean, I stayed up till about 2:30 in the morning watching Caleb Williams go at it with Fafita of Arizona, and it was his second start, and they went to 3 overtimes.
Yeah, I tried to stay up for that game, but I couldn't. USC was down in it when I finally crashed, and
USC Arizona 28-28. Their kicker has a chance to win the game. You cannot make this up. I mean, the kick gets blocked.
USC's or Arizona's?
USC's.
Oh, they had the chance to win, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing because they were down. Were they down like 2 touchdowns or at the beginning of the game?
At the beginning of the game, they were down by 10, 17. 17 nothing. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then Caleb Williams finally decided to play, and he's amazing. That's probably his worst game of the season, and he still put up 44 points or 43, whatever it was. He's unbelievable. Somebody's getting a great quarterback next year because that guy is just As long as it translates to the NFL, I don't see any reason why it won't. He just has, not only does he have the arm talent and he just knows how to move his body and get into positions.
Do you see him in that pocket, running around, just positioning himself to the perfect place to drop a dime, downfield, 10-yard throw?
Yeah, whatever it is. He just maneuvers himself. Sometimes he's throwing sidearm.
He reminds me a lot of Patrick Mahomes.
He does. I've heard that people say that. He's not quite as big as Mahomes. I think Mahomes is a little bit taller. But, yeah, same thing because he throws from all different angles. He throws on the run. Doesn't matter, going to his left, going to his right. You know, he'll stop and throw it, or he'll just keep moving and throw it, and he's just unbelievable. And I would really be shocked if he's not a great NFL quarterback.
I would be as well. And it's like he's not even – the defense at USC is not that good. I mean, it's just that offense that really makes USC a great team this year.
Yeah, if they're probably not going to make it because of that defense. You never know, though. That defense has talent because it's USC. They get top players there. The defense should be better than it is. I don't know if it's coaching or scheme or whatever, but yeah, just think if that defense could play just a little bit better, not much. They just have to be a little bit better, and you're not going to stop that team because he can just score at will.
Absolutely, you saw that. Excuse me. They were down 17-0, as we mentioned, and Caleb Williams decided to play, and that is how they won that game. With that being said, let's move on to Oklahoma and Texas, the place where Caleb Williams was born in that exact game, that legend of Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
the Red River Showdown, and it seems to never disappoint. We have great games with that rivalry every single year.
Yeah, except last year. Last year was bad because Dylan Gabriel got hurt and didn't play in that game last year, so Oklahoma didn't have much of a chance. But this year, he was there. And I know on last week's show, I picked Texas because I really thought I didn't think Oklahoma was this good. What a game, though. Back and forth. Texas. I don't know if Texas ever had they had the lead there at the end, but did they ever have the lead before that?
They would have. I don't think they did. I think they got that lead first with that field goal. They were at the 1 yard line, right? You're gonna have 4 plays there. You're not gonna kick a field goal from the 1 yard line. They get a goal line stand by Oklahoma, and that was the decider of the game right there.
Yeah. It was a good game, but it was kind of a weird game too because Texas, like Ewers, I don't think he had a great game.
No, I don't think he did. I think he threw like 2 picks.
Threw 2 picks. I mean, he threw for like 350 yards, but he threw those 2 picks. And but at the end of the game, he got them ahead, in part because of their defense. But they scored like 13 points in a row because Oklahoma had gone up by 10, and then they come back. Texas comes back, gets ahead 30-27 with only. Was it less than a minute?
I think it was just over a minute.
Just over a minute, and Oklahoma didn't have any timeouts. And
Dylan Gabriel proved himself that game.
Yeah, I just thought he was an average quarterback. I didn't realize he was that good.
Drove right down that field and threw a touchdown to Nick Anderson to win it.
Yeah, that was unbelievable because when Texas kicked the field goal to go ahead by 3, I thought, wow, that's it. Their defense is pretty good. They're going to stop. They're not going to let them go all the way down the field. Mm-hmm. And they went down the field. Boom. They were down in the red zone in like 3 plays.
Yeah, it was bad. Like Oklahoma's defense was leaving guys wide open too. It wasn't like just like luck plays by great catches. I mean, they were wide open.
Yeah, I don't know what Texas was doing there defensively.
Prevent, maybe?
They were playing prevent, but they didn't play it very well.
I mean, I don't know what they were thinking.
They just gave up.
Even in that position, I don't think I would have played prevent. You would leave guys open in the middle of the field. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and especially with the college rules, even though they had no timeouts, it doesn't really matter because it stops when you get a first down. So the clock stops, and then by the time they set the ball and the clock starts again, you got your play called and you're ready to go. So, yeah, with a minute left in college football, that's an eternity. So, yeah, but that was a great game. I didn't expect Oklahoma to win, but now they got a chance to get into the college football playoff. They're 6-0. It's not Texas isn't done though, because if they run the table and Oklahoma runs the table, those two are going to meet in the championship game for the Big 12.
What a game that would be!
So
rematch in the same year.
Yeah, so the winner of that game probably would be the team that would get to go to the playoffs. So there's still a lot to be decided there yet, and I'm hoping they both run the table because I want to see the rematch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's move on here to our last game here. So we got the Red River Showdown, which was one of the best games of the week. Also the USC Arizona game. Let's move on here. How about we talk some Heisman? I mean, I was looking at my phone today. The QB rankings are out. Caleb Williams isn't there at 1. Michael Penix isn't there at 1. Bo Nix isn't there at 1. Jaden Daniels is there as the Heisman frontrunner.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I mean, he's played well, but
I've been trying to think, like, what makes him the Heisman frontrunner right now?
yeah, he's not going to win it.
Caleb Williams had a off game, I guess, but
They can call him the front runner all they want.
he's not going to win it. I don't think
I don't
so.
know who's calling him the front runner, but
ESPN,
well, there you go.
24/7 Sports.
A team with 2 losses, unless the guy is phenomenally better than everybody else, which he's not. I mean, if they run the table and win the SEC championship game and he keeps playing well, then yeah, maybe he could. But I don't see it because there's too many other guys that are their teams are going to be better than LSU's. And even though it's an individual sport, they do go by off how your team performs too. So if Caleb Williams and USC goes like undefeated and he plays the way he plays,
Yep.
he's winning it again.
Oh, yeah.
Jaden Daniels is not going to win that.
Michael Penix has a good chance, too. He's been playing phenomenal.
Yeah, they go undefeated.
Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, those are the two I'm looking at right now. I'm Jaden Daniels is not even top 5 on my list right now.
No, he's not going to win it. They're just, I swear that they do that stuff just.
Are they trying to stir something up or
They
something?
do that just to get people talking and, it gives them talking points on their shows and stuff. But yeah, he's not they can say he's a front runner, but he's not.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I guess we'll have to see, but it's not going to be him, I don't think. But just a quick chat right there. Let's move on here. We're going to go MLB playoffs, then upcoming schedule this week for college football and NFL. So, Twins and Astros are playing right now, and the Astros are absolutely whooping them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. The Twins won that last game, even the series at 1-1, and then I guess the Astros didn't like that too much. Yeah. 9-1 right now. The game may be over.
Yeah, the Astros actually have been better on the road this year than they are at home, which is weird. But yeah, Astros are winning that series. I told you last week's show that I thought Astros were going to get back to the World Series, and I've seen nothing to deter that prediction. I don't want them to get there because I'm sick of seeing them there year after year after year. But I don't see anybody else beating them. The other teams that are left don't have the pitching that they have.
I mean,
they just don't.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think Texas will give them a good run for their money if they get to the ALCS today because they are division rivals. So
I could see that being a good series because Texas they don't have the pitching that Houston does. They got a couple good starters, but
Valdi,
and
they got Montgomery and
Montgomery. I mean, they're okay. They're not
Houston.
They're not Houston, but they have a better lineup than Houston does. So they might be able to keep it close with their offense. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be surprised if they don't make it back.
That's definitely I think that's fair. I mean, Astros are always dominant in the playoffs, no matter how good they do in the regular season, right? Cheating or not, they're a good team. But I think that Texas and Astros, if that is a series next ALCS, I think that game easily goes to 7. I mean, they have had it's been like split all year.
Yeah. I don't know if it goes 7. I could see Houston winning in 6 or something, but yeah. I mean, there's always you never know. Baseball is unpredictable.
I still got Texas going to the World Series.
I hope you're right.
I mean, Orioles are too young. They can't beat that team, and they're struggling against Texas right now. They're probably gonna lose today to them.
Yeah,
to end that series.
Yeah, it's gonna be Houston against Texas.
Yeah, that's gonna be I think that's gonna be a great series. So the NL, the Dodgers are getting whooped worse than the Twins right now against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that's another team. I didn't see it coming, but I guess when I look at it now, they're built a little. I don't want to say they're just a regular season team, but they kind of are. Only maybe specifically this year, because they have lost all their starting pitching. They have no starting pitching, 0.
Mm-hmm.
They have Clayton Kershaw, and
Clayton Kershaw's
he's horrible.
legacy is done. His legacy is ruined because he can't perform in the playoffs. He always pitches bad in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's horrible in the playoffs.
He can't pitch in the playoffs, and the Dodgers, I think, are poorly managed too.
Yeah, well, they lost Bueller to Tommy John. They thought he might be back, but he's not going to be.
Lance Lynn, they got in a trade. He's been awful.
Yeah,
he gets
he's
hit
not.
around.
He's not good anyway. That was just they picked him up because they had no other options, and they lost their best pitcher Urias because he's got some trouble, domestic issues. He's probably never going to pitch again, at least not for them.
Yeah,
he's he's a lot like what's his name was for
Chapman.
them. No.
Harmon.
Bauer.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer. He was with them too. The same thing happened with him. Domestic issues, and now he's done. So those were all guys that were really good starters for them. Now they have nobody. They're depending on some young guys that just aren't ready.
And Clayton Kershaw is really old.
Yeah, I didn't even know if he was coming back this year. He actually had a really good regular season, but
yeah,
once again in the playoffs,
he can't show up in the playoffs. It's a problem.
And it's not like he's just a little bit bad. He gets blown out.
Yeah, he gets it's. Think about Luis Severino in the regular season.
That was him.
That's him in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yep. And it's year after year. So, yeah, I mean, they have the talent on offense to win 3 straight to win that series, but I don't think their pitching is going to be enough. I think Arizona only has to win 1 game. So
Arizona's pitching is pretty good.
It's decent. So
they got Zach Gallen as their ace. He's been phenomenal this season.
They're a lot like San Diego last year. They're kind of coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so so it's probably going to be Arizona against. I'm still gonna say Atlanta.
Philly. That's a game that could go to 5. Series that could go to 5.
That could be either way. I'm gonna say Atlanta. I think they woke up. So, but
that was a great game last night too.
Yeah.
It's tied 1-1. So I mean, there's not much to say. They're both great teams. It could go either way.
Yeah, could go either way. But the winner of that series, Arizona or Philadelphia or Atlanta, will be in the World Series.
You think so?
They're going to beat whoever Arizona or Dodgers. They're going to beat those
Dodgers. Teams. Yeah, I mean,
Arizona's not beating.
I can see.
Those
I'm not saying Arizona's gonna beat them. I say they put up a good fight though.
I don't know. I think it's just one series for them. I just don't.
We'll see. I mean, let's see. They beat the Brewers, now the Dodgers. I mean, yeah. We'll see. Phillies, obviously they're going to win. Phillies or Braves, but we'll see if the Diamondbacks can prove us wrong. So, next up, as we said, we're going to do a little bit of upcoming schedules. And, Dad, this week is the week. In college football, we got Oregon and Washington. I was wrong last week. I thought it was last week, but
yeah.
We got it. We got it this week.
That's the big game. There's only a couple good games this week, and that's the biggest one. The winner of that game's got a big leg up on getting to the college football playoff. That should be a great game. I believe it's in Washington, so I think Washington's going to beat Oregon because I don't trust Bo Nix.
Yeah.
He's due for one of those games where he throws 2 interceptions,
Mm-hmm. I see it.
He's been good this year, but I think Penix is really good. And,
Yeah.
And I think those teams are fairly evenly matched. I think Washington's defense might be a little better. So, and they're at home, so I give them the edge. But I expect that to go down to the wire. That should be a great game. I think that's a 3:30 game. So, yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna do my prediction right now. I got Washington.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're a better team. But I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon beat them. I mean, it could go either way, but I mean, I think Washington is just a little bit better.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, unless if you have anything, I think that's the only game we really have to go over.
Well, it would have been a big game, the Notre Dame USC game.
Notre Dame,
But it takes
they got blown out by Louisville.
That was going to be a big game.
How does that happen?
Yeah, they lost to Louisville. We forgot about that.
Louisville by 20.
Louisville's undefeated. They're better than we thought.
Louisville, excuse me, where do you think they'll get ranked? If they do get ranked.
Yeah, they're ranked right now. They were 25 last week.
I can check it.
I think they moved up quite a bit.
I would think so. I mean, if you beat Notre Dame, then of course.
I know Notre Dame dropped to 21, and USC dropped to 10. USC dropped even though they won.
So we got Louisville up to 14. How about that?
Yeah, big. Yeah, they really jumped. So we're gonna have to start talking about Louisville if they keep winning because I think they play Florida State. I think they play Florida State at some point coming up. So, yeah. So Notre Dame USC was the only other big game this weekend, and it's not really. It's a big game for USC now, just to try to keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
And win against a top 25 team because Notre Dame's 21 right now. But it's not. Notre Dame's done. They got 2 losses.
They're out. They can't make it now.
They're not making anything. I mean, so yeah, this was really supposed to be a big game. Everybody thought that Notre Dame was going to come in there with maybe 1 loss and USC undefeated. Well, it didn't turn out that way. So, yeah, so it's mainly just Washington and Oregon, and then that's the big game for this week. That's about it.
So, we got NFL this week. Any games you want to point out?
There's not a lot of great games in the NFL either. Huh? It's kind of a you got Baltimore and Tennessee, which is London game. That's an okay game.
We got Seahawks and Bengals.
That's a good game.
I like that game.
That's 2 close teams. I think Bengals righted the ship. I think.
How about Chase on Sunday? He had 3 touchdowns and over 190 receiving yards.
Yeah, Burrow looked pretty good too. He looks like he's getting healthier.
Yep.
Which is not good news for the Steelers.
No.
So
I don't think we played them yet.
We haven't played them yet.
So we're gonna have to see.
But Seattle against the Bengals, yeah, Seattle. That's in Cincinnati. Seattle's a tough team. That should be a really close game, right down to the wire. That's a pick'em game. That could go either way.
And then you got on Monday, Cowboys and Chargers.
That's a good game too. Where is that game?
That would be in Los Angeles.
So that's the Dallas home game.
Yeah. Either way, it's a Dallas.
Either
home
way,
game.
because it's going to be all Dallas fans there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the Chargers. They don't have any home.
Shouldn't have moved from San Diego.
They messed up big time. Now they have no home field. They're going to have to go silent count. They're going to have to with their offense because they're not going to be able to hear.
No,
it's just it's horrible. That's going to be a high. I think that'll be I want to say high scoring game, but I don't know. Dallas's defense.
It's gonna be. I think
it should be a close game.
Yeah, close.
I could see a 28-25 or something like that.
We'll
kind
see.
Of game.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah. There was one other game. I can't remember. I remember looking at the schedule. There was one other game that intrigued me.
I have the schedule right here.
Because there's not a lot of good games.
Are we thinking 49ers Browns?
That's intriguing because of the defenses.
We got Eagles Jets. I'm trying to find the one that you were thinking of. Lions Bucks.
Those are the 3 I was thinking of. That could be close games. Because of the defenses.
Lions and Bucks?
That one, no. That one I think is more of a probably in the 20s, but I think Lions win that.
Okay.
49ers at Cleveland is interesting to me because Cleveland's defense is number 1 in the NFL right now.
So, Stefanski ended up saying that Thompson Robinson isn't ready. He's not starting this week if Watson is out. It will be P.J. Walker.
Well, that throws a monkey wrench into that game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If Watson is playing and he's healthy, I give the Browns a chance. If not, then I don't.
It's not going to be close. It's going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, because their defense is really good, but it's going to be kind of like how Pittsburgh played the 49ers. The defense is going to get tired. Cleveland's defense is going to get tired because they're going to be on the field the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And second half, they're going to get blown out.
So, one thing I want to point out is, why are the Giants on primetime again? Sunday Night Football against the Bills.
That's a horrible game.
Why are they on primetime again?
The Giants I think they're the worst team. Them and Carolina are the 2 worst teams in football right now.
Yeah. It's bad how bad the Giants
are horrible. I don't even know if Daniel Jones is going to play. I think he is, but I'm not sure. The Bills at home are going to absolutely slaughter the Giants.
Yeah.
That's going to be 28-3, something like that.
28-3.
I mean, the only thing that could make that game close is the fact that the Bills are coming back from London, so who knows how they're going to be? You know, they have a week to get used to being back over here and time schedule and all that stuff. And they did lose Matt Milano, who was a big part of their defense. So, I mean, it could be a little bit closer than that because of that. But if you're just going off how the 2 teams are playing, I would think Bills by at least 2 touchdowns.
If Josh Allen has a Josh Allen game, though, it's going to be close. That's the only way it's going to be close. If Josh Allen has a Josh Allen game.
If he doesn't turn the ball over, then that's a blowout.
Yeah.
But if not, then it could stay a little bit close. But yeah, the Giants are just so bad. They're not going to be able to score.
No. I mean, that's pretty much all the NFL games. I just wanted to point
But you
out.
know what's funny though? Even though we're sitting here saying that there's not a lot of good games, sometimes those are the weeks that surprise you, and all these games that you think are going to be horrible are all close and great games.
What do you think about the Jets and Eagles this week?
I think that's a sneaky close game.
That's what I'm about to say. I think that's a sneaky close game.
Because the Jets' defense is really good, and Philadelphia, even though they're winning, they haven't been playing that great. They beat the Rams, but the Rams were in that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see that being a close game. It's in New York, I believe. So, like I said, these games might be good just because we think they're going to be bad. A lot of time, the NFL just does that to you.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll have to see. These defenses can make these games close. I think that's what's going to matter this week. Well, Dad, here we go with plays of the week. Austin Riley hits one deep to left. See you later. The Atlanta Braves take the lead, and this ended up being the game-winning home run and even the series at 1 apiece.
Oh, well, that was so clutch. Man, yeah, it was looking pretty bleak for the Braves, and all of a sudden, home run in the 7th, and then this one game winner in the bottom of the 8th. Unbelievable. I think this team's going to roll now. All right, Ravens down at the 5-yard line, looking to go up by 12 to the Steelers. Joey Porter Jr. coverage. Oh, the interception. He jumps in front of OBJ. That was a horrible throw by Jackson. This is the biggest play of the game. Kept the Steelers in it, and they would go on to win. Unbelievable from the rookie.
His first career interception comes at a big moment, end up being the difference maker.
Awesome.
Well, that is 4th and 16. Ravens looking to punt it. Miles Killebrew says, not on my watch. And this ended up being a safety so close for Williams to recover it for a touchdown. But what a play from the Steelers special teams.
What a great play. They just called him up from the practice squad, I believe, this week. Unbelievable play. Killebrew with the block. He is so good at that. He just missed getting this for the touchdown. But that was a turning point in the game.
Look at that. Just the one-hand stretch. That's all it took for the Steelers to get back in the game.
All right, Red River Rivalry. Dylan Gabriel getting pressured. He throws it up to Nick Anderson in the corner. The game-winning touchdown. What a play from Dylan Gabriel. That pocket was crashing down all around him.
Yeah, Nick Anderson ended up floating wide open here. The safety and corner on Texas were confused. Who's got him? I don't have him. I don't have him. Well, neither of you have him. Touchdown, Oklahoma, and they end up winning the game.
Bryson Stott up. Bases loaded for the Phillies against the Marlins. There she goes. Grand slam. And that was it for the Miami Marlins.
That grand slam slammed the door shut on the Marlins in the playoffs in the wild card. And the Phillies look to be another sneaky team. Last year they were in the wild card all the way to the World Series. Could we see the same this year? Bryson Stott, big moment. Well, Dad, just a few hours ago, the first inning, Sonny Gray looking to get out of it. Nope. Jose Abreu says bye-bye. A 3-run shot in the first inning, and this was all she wrote tonight.
Complete domination by the Astros. They look like they're headed on their way back to the series. They got some firepower.
His first home run of the postseason in the first inning puts Houston up by 4 in the first inning, and Sonny Gray, a first inning to forget for sure. Well, Dad, that is our time. This podcast episode is over, but can't go anywhere without mentioning we now have a website, pmsporttalk.com, and you can go check us out there. All episodes, everything about us, quite literally, is there. Thank you all for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time for PM Sport Talk. Hey, if you like what you see, you can subscribe down below, and you can listen to our podcast at any time. And also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at pmsporttalk@gmail.com. Also coming soon is a website. Thank you all for listening. Have a good one.